Hi, I'm Michael Smith for Nevada Trails. Today I have a very exciting show. I'm with Vern, Krohn, and we're at the Aquatic Trailhead. And here we're going to talk about some rafting. Hi, Vern.
Hi, Mike. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Well, tell us about what we got going here.
Well, Carson City has been working extensively with both Lyon County as well as the Nevada Commission on Tourism to promote the Carson River Aquatic Trail. It's a trail that we have been working on for a number of years. It's approximately a 9.3 mile trip that can take you both through Class 1 as well as Class 3 rapids. It's an exciting opportunity, not only from a recreation standpoint, but also from a economic standpoint that we have developed this trail in conjunction with Lyon County. The system creates an opportunity for people to have various whitewater experiences. Starting at Carson River Park, which is about 3.3 miles upstream from us, you can put in and be able to float a Class 1 section of the river. It takes you through large stretches of agricultural land, large cottonwood galleries, and a very nice, easy float for the family. Don't need a whole lot of expertise to do that particular stretch of river. The Class 1 rapids are very gentle, very rolling, and a nice raft with a personal flotation device, some sunscreen, and a wonderful hat can probably do you quite well, along with some paddles. To have a great time for the family. But the trailhead that we are currently at is both a put-in point for the Class 3 section as well as the takeout point for the Class 1 section, and we're at the Morgan Mill Road River Access area. This is the beginning point for the Class 3 stretch of river. This particular river is for those who are not faint of heart. We'll get in here and head down through the Carson River Canyon. It's about 9.3 miles from this point down to a takeout point in Lyon County called Santa Maria Ranch. They have some nice facilities down there, gravel parking lot, restroom facilities, a very nice opportunity after a cold, wet trip. You get out and you go there. So we're excited to be able to provide both these facilities. Lyon County and Carson City brought both these facilities online this spring for this rafting season. So we're really excited about that. The Carson River Canyon, with the flows that we have, just the past weekend we were talking 3,000 CFS down through that canyon, makes for a wild ride. But that's the stretch of river you want to make sure you have professional guides with you or are very experienced in whitewater rafting, because the first rapid you hit is a Class 3 rapid, and it's a powerful rapid, but it's a fun rapid at these kind of flows and even at low flows. But you want to make sure you know what you're doing. You've got all the safety equipment necessary to get down in there and have a great, safe time. So we're really excited about this opportunity. The canyon itself is a unique attraction from not only a natural resource perspective, but from a history perspective. The canyon is or was home to multiple smelter sites and mill sites for the Comstock era. You can still see a lot of old vestiges of the old wooden structures down in there. You can see some great work that was done by the Chinese workers that were here during that era, building the V&T railroad grades for the railroads. You can see a lot of the old wagon roads that used to bring supplies into the mine, or into, I'm sorry, not into the mines, but into the smelters and mills that were along the Carson River. The spring, when we have the water flows that are the best. You've got wildflowers down in there right now. The hills are covered with wildlife everywhere, and it's just a fun place to go. And if you're prepared for it with the right equipment and the right professional guides or the right equipment, it's a great fun experience for people, and we're glad to offer that.
Well, Vern, this is absolutely beautiful location. Everything's just first class. You got picnic tables over there. You got plenty of parking, and you got just beautiful facilities. We have Pat here, Freed for Great Basin Sports, to talk about safety a little bit later. But look behind us. That water's moving.
It is. It is. Like I said, we're about 3,000 CFS is what we're looking at.
That's cubic feet per second.
Sorry. Yes, that's river talk. Yeah, it's cubic feet per second. So we've got a lot of water flowing by, and this river is a very powerful river at this kind of a stage. So you need to respect it. You really need to respect it. One of the other things that we do offer for those folks coming is our official Carson River Aquatic Trail Map. It identifies the rapids. It gives you some safety instructions, other things to be prepared for. It's also on waterproof paper.
Well, I think that's fantastic, having waterproof paper. You must know me.
Well, what we like to do is we want to make sure the people who go down through this canyon or along the whole trip, can pull something out. You get splashed, it gets wet. It's still a usable map to give you an idea where you are on the system
Well, I bought a waterproof camera too. I expect to get wet. Well, in any case, I just think this is absolutely fantastic for the region. I've been around Coloma where they have the American River, and that's been it was a lot of fun. And the Chattahoochee down in Georgia, that was a lot of fun as a kid. And it seems to me that the first part of the river, Class 1, is probably more of a family recreation thing. And then when you get down to here, you need to have a guide.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Or you have to have experience on the river using whitewater equipment. You know, rafts, inflatable rafts, other types of things that you, and Pat will talk more about that later, but you got to have the right equipment. You know, if you don't have the right equipment to do the Class 3 stretch, it could turn into a very dangerous situation.
Well, I know you have to be, safety first, obviously. Well, as far as how long will the season last, do you think?
Well, this year we've had a real late snowmelt this year, so we were hoping up until this real warm spell, we were hoping that this rafting season would go into July. Typically you're looking at, though, basically the hydrograph for the river takes you basically from about March to about the end of June. We were hoping that because of the upper snows we've had, we could go into July. We've had some quick melt off, that's why the river's running so high as it is, but I'm still guessing that we're still probably going to get another 3-4 weeks out of this thing just because of the flows and where we at temperature wise.
Well, that sounds good. Okay, we're going to go with Pat and we're going to talk about a little safety on the river. Thank you. Hi, I'm with Pat Freed of Great Basin Sports, and Pat and I have kind of a little history together. When I first moved here, I'm with the Head Injury Alliance, and I first met you at the Sand Harbor, I believe. Right. And you took me for my first kayak ride, and I was scared to death. For one, I didn't know how deep the water was in Tahoe because it was so clear. And once I relaxed, I really enjoyed it. And thank you very much for that, because you gave my girlfriend a ride too. And safety first. You made sure we were safe, and I always thank you for that, because that got rid of a lot of fear that I had about being on the water. And as a disabled person, you get kind of scared, and you took out, as everybody, wheelchairs. It didn't matter what the disability was. You took care of them, and I always appreciate that. Well, Pat, she's going to show us her safety first for the rafting this river, and here's Pat Freed of Great Basin Sports.
Thank you, Michael, and it was a pleasure taking you on Lake Tahoe. Had a great time. I'm Pat Freed of Great Basin Sports, and I'd like to talk about the safety on the rivers here. This new aquatic trail that's been put in Carson City is an incredible rafting run. The only thing is, at this flow, and it has come up this year, we want to be safe when we're on the rivers. I would highly recommend that you would use a professional guide. I have been out there quite a bit doing tours the last couple weeks, and it is important that you know safety, you have the right equipment, and you have a guide who knows what they're doing to read the water. I'm going to go over some of the safety equipment here so that you guys can be safe when you're on the river. This is my 14-foot Sotar raft here. It's made of a urethane material. It's got 4 chambers, very strong material, and this is the type of boat and craft that you will need if you're going to be rafting this section of the river. This section from here down has Class 3 rapids, and so you do need professional equipment to go down. This boat here has a stern frame on it with oars. I will take passengers in the front. They can still do the paddling, but it also gives me the opportunity to use the oars to maneuver the boats. If you folks were going to go down on your own trip, you would need to be extremely experienced kayakers or rafters. You need to have certain equipment in your boat to be safe at all times. Okay, so as Vern had said earlier, there is a nice waterproof map of the aquatic trail that will show all the different rapids that are on this stretch of the river, and on the opposite side it also talks about the safety features that you need. In these cold weather temperatures, you need to have the right equipment. If you become a swimmer in this river, it's really important that you have the right equipment and you have the right guides to get you down the river. I think first and most important is going to have a life jacket that fits properly. These are called PFD, personal flotation devices, and in order for us to take people out of the water that have become swimmers, we're going to pull them in the boat by their life jacket. So it's very important to have a properly fitted life jacket that's tight and fastened down. So that's number one in importance on the river. Also, you want to have a medical first aid kit here. You want to have a repair kit. I have a wrap kit here with certain hardware and pulleys in the event you have a wrap on the river. It's nice to have radio communication. I'm on search and rescue, so I do have a radio that goes directly to dispatch. You want to have headlamps, and I'd like to talk about some of the other equipment that we use on the river. So this is a 14-foot Sotar raft, and this could take down 6 paddlers. And then I'm going to come over here and talk about inflatable kayaks. In order to get down the river in an inflatable kayak, you're going to want the correct gear. You're going to need a neoprene wetsuit. Okay, you're definitely going to want to be in a wetsuit to get down the river like this. You're going to need neoprene socks. You're going to need neoprene gloves, and you're definitely going to need a good helmet to get down the river. These are throw bags. The throw bags you are able to throw to people that are in the water if they become a swimmer, and so really important to have one of these on the boats. Okay, in this kayak, this is made of a urethane material. It's got 3 different chambers on it. Once again, I can't stress the importance of having professional kayaking and rafting equipment when you get down these rivers. These are really strong material made of urethane, and it's a great boat. I do lessons and tours in these kayaks. You have to have the right paddles to get down, whitewater paddles, and they have to be the right size. So anyway, this is one kayak that I use for going down the river. This is a new unit that I have. It's an inflatable canoe. I do a fisherman's taxi in this. I sit in the back. I have oars, so it allows me to get fishermen down the river, and they can sit in front and get that big catch of fish that they're looking for. So that's another option that I offer. Once again, this is made of a PVC material with 4 different chambers and a very good quality boat here. And this unit is a cataract. And I do lessons in cataracts. It is an oar frame, and this is an 11-foot cat. And once again, you have the oars. You have a good frame on here. It needs to all be tied down properly. I also teach people how to rig boats if they want to do overnight camping trips. And as we move down here, this is a hard shell sit on top kayak, and it's really important that people are not taking lake kayaks down this stretch of river. You have to have a whitewater kayak. The difference with a whitewater kayak is it has rocker. You'll notice at each end it is going in an upward slant, and that's almost like a surfboard so that you can maneuver through the rapids. If you go down in lake kayaks, they have a hull and a water line which don't allow you to do the maneuvering necessary to get through rapids. And I can't stress enough, I was out here this weekend and I saw people trying to get down this class 3 stretch in the flat water kayaks, and they really ran into trouble. So please do not attempt to do hard shell kayaks unless you're with a professional guide and know what you're doing out here. In order to go in these hard shell kayaks, you need to have thigh braces, you need to have an extra paddle, and you definitely need to have a helmet, wetsuit, and all the flotation gear.
Restoring the Truckee River? Many said it couldn't be done, but the Nature Conservancy took on the challenge.
This was the biggest thing we've ever done.
A year later, things look different.
We're out here to see what we can find. You can see these small little trees that are growing. These are all cottonwood seedlings. This is what we call wiregrass.
We have wetlands. That means we have frogs. We have wetlands and insects. That means we have birds. And we have the diversity of all kinds of species at all kinds of ages.
The fish habitat, since they've changed the river, created the meander here, has just improved dramatically.
We're seeing actually already a huge improvement in the number of species and the number of birds that we can find out here as bird watchers or as ornithologists.
We're glad that they're working with the tribes and restoring the river to its natural ways here.
Standing here now on a early summer evening and hearing the shorebirds and the water moving through the river, it was so different here not so long ago.
The Nature Conservancy, protecting nature, preserving life.
What lies beyond the curve in the trail? What secrets are there? My feet carry me into its veiled mystery, and I want to taste the sweet air and hear the song bestowed by nature. Just this once. Until the next curve, the next trail, the next walk through the Carson Valley. The Genoa Foothill Trail System will connect the Carson Valley with the Tahoe Rim Trail, providing a wonderful trail system near the oldest town in Nevada. This is just one of many projects the Carson Valley Trails Association is working on for our communities, but we cannot do it alone. Please contact us by visiting our website and find out about becoming a member or signing up to help build our community trails. We're looking forward to seeing you out in the most beautiful land Nevada has.
In order to protect our riding opportunities, we've got to tread lightly. That means staying on roads, trails, and areas designated for ATVs. Also, go over, not around trail obstacles to avoid widening trails. And cross rivers slowly, and only at places where the trail crosses the stream. Join the millions of responsible riders who protect our privileges and our natural resources by treading lightly in the outdoors. Visit Tread Lightly at treadlightly.org.
Well, Pat, that was fantastic. It makes me want to go rafting right now.
All right, it's a lot of fun.
Well, a little while from now, we're going to have a demonstration of you in the water. And in the meantime, how do I get a hold of you if I want to go rafting with my family?
Okay, Michael, thank you. You can either go to my website, www.greatbasinsports.com, or you can call me, 775-450-3446.
And Pat, you'll be at Sand Harbor later in the year, won't you?
Yes, I will.
So, anyways, thank you, and we'll be back with Vern. Thank you. Well, I'll tell you, Vern, that was exciting hearing about the safety aspects of the river. But now we're on the land trailhead of the trails, obviously, and this is a starting point again.
Yes, that's absolutely right. What we have is a facility that not only feeds the Carson River Aquatic Trail, which is the river itself, but we have a land-based trailhead too. Carson City has been in the process over a number of years of developing a land-based trail system along the river. We are in the process of trying to do our best to connect this trail-based system. This trail that we're standing on right here connects to a system that goes through multiple parks across a variety of different open space lands, and we are in the final stages of getting this all connected. Once it's done, we're going to have anywhere from 4 to 5 miles of different types of land-based trails, multi-use trails for both equestrian, hikers and bikers. It'll be able to go from here about 4 and a half miles upstream to Silver Saddle Ranch in the Mexican Ditch. So we're real excited about this opportunity from a recreation perspective as well.
Well, this is a perfect facility to bring your horse because you got the trailer parking already. You got an outhouse, as it were, or what do you call it, porta-john, and then picnic facilities. And for the kids, besides rafting, so this is a year-round facility.
Yes, that's absolutely the way we designed it. We wanted it to be year-round to take advantage of the flows during the spring, but in the fall, this is an amazing river to be on because these cottonwood galleries that are here just explode in yellow color. And these trails, these land-based trails that we have, which is a decomposed granite trail surface, allows you to walk in amongst these cottonwoods, see the wildlife, great birding habitat down here for people who are into birding. It's just an amazing place in the fall as well. During the summer, even though the river flows are a little bit low, we figure that our rafting season pretty much ends about end of July. But you still have some flows through the river, and by the time we hit the fall, it is still a nice place to come. It's a cool place to be in Carson City along the river. There's fishing down here. The Nevada Department of Wildlife stocks the Carson River from not only the Morgan Mill Road River Access Area point that we're standing at or we're at, but also upstream at the Carson River Park. So we've got a lot of things going on here year-round.
Well, this is a fantastic place. You just take, 50 to Deer Run?
Yes.
And then you take a right on Mill.
That's correct.
And it's easy to get to. I can't even believe it. I love, well, Deer is a great road. And by the way, I'm very impressed with your map again, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
back on the aquatic trail, and that was really exciting watching Pat go through a Class 3 rapid, and I could see why we need the safety instructions and a professional guide.
Oh, absolutely. And this is why I just wanted to share with the people who are watching the show today, is that when you look at these series of photographs that Pat has been through, and different photographs that have been taken by this dynamic news team here, what we'd like to do is just share a little bit with you. The first set of rapids that you saw, where Pat actually got into the river at the Morgan Mill Road River access area, those would be considered a Class 1. Very gently rolling little rapids, water movement. The next series of photographs that you would see is a Class 2 stretch of river. A lot of rolling, smaller rapids, something that gives you a nice, smooth but yet exciting ride. The Class 3, which is which should be showing right now on your screen, is the more dangerous one. This is the one you got to know what you're doing, and this is why we don't want inexperienced rafters in the Carson River Canyon without either a guide or without having a significant level of experience to deal with these rapids. You'll see these rapids are powerful. They roll over big, large rocks. This particular area of the river is a big boulder field that these waters roll over. And just the fluctuation of 200 cubic feet per second or a 300 feet cubic second run difference makes the river completely different each time you go through it. And so what may be safe going down the left side of the river today may be dangerous 2 days from now. So as you go down through these rapids, as Pat was showing you in her raft, she's an experienced guide. Because she knows how to read the river, she went to the river right. So if you aren't experienced and you get caught into these big waves that, as you can see as Pat goes through these rapids, that fold back onto themselves, those are called reversals. And within those reversals presents a real opportunity for getting hurt. So you want to stay away from those, you want to be experienced, and you want to be able to take care of yourself with all the proper equipment. So this is not for family recreation. This is for your more experienced whitewater rafters. We have a great stretch of river up above from Carson River Park to Morgan Mill that is perfect for family recreation. This is for experienced whitewaters only. And kind of to final up, if we could.
Sure.
What I'd like to do is just to thank all the people who've put efforts into this particular project. This project was started, or the idea came up back about 2000, and it was promoted by a lot of volunteers and a lot of advisory groups, and from there we started with just a few logs giving you a couple steps into the river, and we have developed into what you see now: a parking lot, concrete boat ramps, picnic facilities. We have a lot of different grant partners that were involved with us. We've had the Nevada Commission on Tourism, of course, the support of the Carson City Board of Supervisors and city staff. So we're excited to be able to provide this recreational opportunity not only to the residents of Carson City, but from a regional recreational perspective that allows other folks to come here and be a part of this and promote tourism in this area as well.
Well, fantastic. If you want to do some whitewater rafting, call Pat. Pat has great base in sports, and do some rafting, and thank you, Vern, for being on Nevada Trails.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Come on out here and have some fun.